In this video, I'm going to be showing you who I hire to find the right location, perform market analysis, and engage in lease negotiations to gain the maximum advantage for my future dental practices. Plus, I'm going to reveal my secret on how much I pay them as well. But even more importantly, I will also show you what happened to me when I didn't hire outside help. So, I must ask you, have you ever seen people do things and you're like, oh, they can do it? So can I. Sort of like when you were young and you saw your parents drive and then came your turn to drive. Yeah, not so easy. Well, I had 100% confidence in myself when it came to lease negotiations. Thus, I decided to tackle lease negotiations by myself and then proceeded to get owned. But thankfully, it didn't turn out that bad. The clinic is still running and stronger than ever. But what I should have done is hire a real estate agent. At the time, I didn't really know you can hire real estate agents for lease spaces, but apparently we can. I only found out after I made my subpar deal. So pro tip, hire a real estate agent. But what can this real estate person do? After all, can't you just talk to the landlord and use your persuasive skills to woo everyone? Nah, man. Instead, rely on your external team. These guys or gals will make sure you get the right place. They'll do literally all of the legwork for you. Some of these might be 1. Finding a place with the right size and budget. 2. Set up property tours. 3. Market analysis. 4. Lease negotiation. And 5. Coordinate with the landlord. Depending on the size of your dream dental clinic, you will need a certain amount of square footage or space for your dental clinic. The agent will make sure to take care of this and then will give you a list of properties to visit. Sometimes they even give you a fancy notebook or PDF presentation that you get to go through. Though for me, I didn't really have the luxury of knowledge at the time and I went for the first decent for lease sign. I pretty much had tunnel vision. If you hire the right real estate agent, then he or she will be able to get you a list of potential spaces so you don't have to worry. The cost of ignorance. Luckily for you, you can achieve success at a faster rate than I did. So, advantage number 1, real estate agents will help you find potential locations. After they get a list of properties for you, it's time to make an appointment to see those lease spaces. My suggestion to you is to knock it out all in one day, because you'll have all the spaces fresh in your mind. Something to note is that visiting a lease space is critical. Sometimes you'll notice things that aren't really shown in the pictures. For example, one time I went to a potential lease space and then the back door led to an open drop. I just drew this green door on the back of this building for example purposes. It was super high up. Literally someone can fall and break their legs. Basically, it needed a deck for safety and an outlet where we can throw out trash. But it would have costed me about $23,000 more or so. So, nah. So, advantage number 2. Real estate agents are allies and are with you during your property tours. They will identify non-obvious stuff as well. Okay, as dentists, we're all data-driven. As such, we do our own research like market analysis, like what's the population, what's the income in this area, how many young people versus old people are there, and the list goes on and on. But hear me out, you don't have the time to be researching all of this. But let's just say you do. I don't think it's in your best interest to interpret the data all by yourself. You see, real estate agents have all the tools that they need for demographic data. Plus, this data will be a lot more accurate than data that a dentist finds online. After all, it's their job to compile everything for you. Which leads us to advantage number 3. Gain superb market analysis from your real estate agent. Okay, this is where the fun begins. Let's talk about lease negotiations. When I negotiated my lease, I thought the main thing was to get the price of the rental space down as much as possible. I went super crazy on getting the lowest rate possible and with only that mission in mind. I negotiated by stating, well, the neighboring spaces have a rental price of X, Y, and Z, right? So it should be comparable or less. And you want a dental clinic too, right? And don't get me wrong, I still believe that rent is the major component, but there's just so much more than that. For example, there's common area maintenance costs, also known as CAM, which you pay maintenance for hallways, parking lots, elevators, security, and a whole lot of other things. Other things to negotiate would be getting free rent, tenant improvement money, which is free money that the landlord gives you, lease duration, options for renewal, remove any unfair languages in the contract, and a whole bunch of other things. It really does get complicated. If just now I didn't drive the importance of lease negotiations enough, then listen to what happened to one of my preceptors in dental school eons ago. Before we go on, don't judge me on my drawing. I'm literally on snipping tool and drawing with my mouse. I think it's pretty damn good if you ask me. Ha. But anyways, so this man had a dental practice near a couple of other stores in a retail building, and he made good money. He practiced dentistry for around 9 years or so in his private practice. And then it was time to sell. Every dentist's dream. He made income, paid off his debt, and now he would receive the badge of honor, a successful retired dentist. He took all the necessary steps and he found a buyer and negotiated a price for $1.5 million, and it didn't happen. What? What could have happened? Did the buyer just mess around? Nope, the buyer definitely wanted to buy. The problem was the lease. The dentist had a 10-year lease. This man missed out on $1.5 million financial freedom and the time to enjoy it, all because the landlord would not renew his lease. The landlord instead wanted to give the space to his family member. Dude, $1.5 million, gone, all because of a crappy lease. So, how can we prevent this? Do we have some magical trick to make the scenario unfold in a different way? Well, actually, yes. The goal is to get a lease that gives you multiple options to renew. This is important. After your 10-year lease, make sure you get additional options, but not the obligation to renew your lease. A good rule of thumb would be initial 10 years, 5-year option, and another 5-year option, totaling up to 20 years. Don't miss out on your $1.5 million. And that is why we have advantage number 4. Real estate agents will help you negotiate the lease. Oh, and critical note here, while your real estate agent looks over the lease, also hire an attorney to go over the lease for you. I'll make another video later, but just trust me on this and hire an attorney to look over your lease as well. So does that mean during the lease negotiation phase, you speak directly with the landlord? Nope, your agent will speak on your behalf. It's like a game of telephone, only it's real life and more legit. So it starts with you, and then it goes to your agent and attorney, and then it goes to the landlord's agent and attorney, and then to the landlord. Then it goes back and forth. But imagine doing all of this back and forth with the landlord's agent and you. You'd start losing time and also money. And then you'd be super sad. Oh, so sad. Because you're losing money. So it's best to do dentistry and save time and make a lot of money. So there's the next question. How long does it take to finish lease negotiations? Well, for me, it takes roughly about 1 month. I've certainly had deals that took about 3 months, though I think that's on the extreme end. And so that brings us to advantage number 5. Real estate agents communicate for you. These are critical as you can leverage their expertise and time. These guys are on your side. Well, unless you sign a legal document that says that they're working for both parties, but that's a whole different topic. The key point is to hire a real estate agent that is on your side. So by now you can see how valuable these real estate agents are and all the time that they spend to help you out. So of course it's going to be super expensive, right? Nope. In fact, you don't have to pay a thing. What? Yes, this would be a natural reaction, whatever this cute yet ugly animal may be. So you might be saying, this all sounds too good to be true, or there must be a catch. Well, they do get paid, but not by you. It's the landlord that pays them. You're probably thinking, what? How does that even make sense? 1000% agree with you. Well, the current you, because you're going to know the secret. Let me explain this crazy thing here. Let's take a reverse look at this. You're now a landlord and you have a building and are looking for a tenant. Why? Because space open equals loss of money. No bueno. In fact, you've had the space vacant for over a year. You could be making money, yet nobody came in. You want to fill the space up quickly. And then suddenly you have a real estate agent coming in and saying, hey, I have a great dental prospect for you. They're willing to sign a 10-year lease with you. As a landlord, I'd be very happy. Dental offices fail at a 1% rate. They pay me on time and it brings me prestige to my building. So why not? The landlord is happy and wants to pay the real estate agent. In fact, that's how the world works. So the whole point I want to make is that there's absolutely no reason not to get a real estate agent. In fact, I alluded to the fact that they do lease negotiations, and of these lease negotiations, one of the most important thing is tenant improvement money, also known as TI money. And this is a game changer. Imagine saving $350,000 on dental startups. And that's what I do at least. So click on this next video to see how.